Hello again, everybody. We're back after a bye week. We're just like anybody else. We need a bye week here or there.
Or two or three.
Yeah. Or a season or two. But
Yeah.
anyway. All right. We will start out. We're going to go straight to the picks this week. What about that? Just get after it. Game 1 will be TCU and Baylor. TCU is a 2.5 point favorite. I'm going to tell you something. Sonny Dykes is my coach of the year. I don't see how he's got this team where they are. I mean, they have a good quarterback, but they don't have what you would say is just elite players everywhere. They got a good receiver too. But I'm going to go with TCU, even though it looks like they're on the road. I'm going with the Horned Frogs to cover the 2.5.
Yeah, I hadn't been giving TCU much love, and they've burnt me, so I'm going with them this time. I'm taking TCU.
Okay, game number 2, Illinois and Michigan in the Big House. Michigan, a 17.5 point favorite. Although I'm not going double-digit dog it, I do think Illinois with their running game can slow the game down enough to cover the 17.5. I'm going with the Fighting Belimas to cover the 17.5.
Yep, I'm taking Michigan. I think that Michigan at home, they're a different team, just like most of the teams we pick are. But Illinois, I just don't think Illinois is going to put up many points. I think it will stay fairly close. I just don't think Illinois scores much. So I'm taking Michigan to just cover.
Okay, game 3, Kansas State and West Virginia. K-State's a 7.5 point favorite. I just think K-State's the better team. Throughout the whole season, they've shown more consistency. So I am going with K-State to cover the 7.5.
Yep, I totally agree. Pretty much everything you said. So quick answer here. I'm taking K-State too.
Game number 4, Texas and Kansas. Texas is a 9.5 point favorite. Texas is just one team you just cannot figure out. When you look at their talent, you just don't see how they have 4 losses. That being said, I'm going to go for the overachievers, Kansas, to cover the 9.5 at home.
I'm going to take Texas in this one. I think they're pretty embarrassed after last week and that pitiful offensive performance they put out. So I'm expecting them to turn it back around this week. Sark put up points, so take Texas.
Okay, game number 5, Georgia is at Kentucky. Georgia is a 22.5 point favorite. This is going to be my double-digit dog. Kentucky has really disappointed me as far as Levis and especially the Vandy game last week. But you just got to feel like they will show a little bit of fight and can cover 22.5. They do have a good defense. Rodriguez has got going running the ball. I'm looking for them to cover the 22.5.
Yep, a wise man would probably take Kentucky. I'm taking Georgia. I think Georgia is just playing better right now. I think they're hot. It's getting toward the end of the year, and I think Georgia is kind of the new Alabama. And typically, your better Alabama teams always played better at the end of the season. And Kentucky's not playing well right now, obviously, surrendering to Vandy. So I think Georgia's hot. They go up there and they light up the scoreboard. So take Georgia.
Okay, game number 6, Texas Tech and Iowa State. Iowa State is a 3.5 point favorite. The Red Raiders don't play as good on the road, and with the Cyclones being at home, they're their typical team. They're a blue-collar team that kind of hangs around. So I'm going to pick them to cover the 3.5 against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, normally I don't pick Texas Tech to cover outside of being at home, but I'm also below 500 on the year, so I'm taking Texas Tech. Going with a different strategy this time, so I'm taking them to cover.
Okay, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. It's time for some bedlam. Sooners are a 7.5 point favorite. I'm basically going with them because they're at home. Oklahoma State looks very beatable on the road. Spencer Sanders is not 100%, although he probably will play. I'm just going with the Sooners, being at home, 7.5.
Yeah, Oklahoma's probably the better team, but it's a rivalry game. So on the rivalries, we know anything can happen. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Okay, game number 8, Ole Miss and Arkansas. Ole Miss is a 2.5-point favorite. KJ Jefferson is supposed to be back. Arkansas has proven that they are mighty feisty at home. I am going with the Razorbacks to cover the 2.5.
Yeah, me too. Arkansas would have beaten LSU last week had KJ Jefferson been healthy. So I'm going to say the same goes true this week. We're going to say Jefferson plays and Arkansas covers.
Game number 9, another rivalry week. We have USC and UCLA. USC, a 1.5-point favorite. I believe UCLA really got embarrassed by losing to Arizona last week. I believe they show up big against USC. Take the Bruins to cover the 1.5, which is basically they got to win just about.
Yeah, I think this is going to be super close. I did take USC, but I think it's going to be barely. I mean, I think this is going to be about a one-score game. So in that type of game, it could go either way. I just think USC maybe has just a bit more talent overall.
And the final game, Utah and Oregon. Oregon is a 3-point favorite. I like Oregon here. Coming off the loss to Washington, and Utah usually does not play good on the road, and Oregon normally plays good at home. So I'm going to go Oregon to cover the 3 points here.
Yep, going to have some Pac-12 after dark on this one. 9:30 our time, 10:30 their local time. I pretty much agree with everything you just said. I like Oregon at home, cover the 3. Don't like Utah on the road in this situation.
Okay, that's our picks. And what did Miss Barbie pick this week?
All right. She's got TCU, Illinois, K-State, Kansas, Georgia, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, UCLA, and Utah.
Well, all right. There's our picks for this week. I hope you followed along and can do as good as us or even better. In my case, probably better. But anyway, everybody have a good week. We look forward to next week. It will be just about totally a rivalry week. So look forward to it next week.
See you guys.